Welcome to episode 2. So what we have so far is an account and an empty board. So we'll discuss different concepts here, and let's get started with what I want to call the big whys or the big areas of life. Now you can follow the same steps in your journal, in your diary, in any other digital system as well, right? Because the questions that we will be talking about, the categorization that we will be talking about, can be applied in any system, right? But we will we will be showing you the Trello and how you can use Trello to adopt to this model. So if you go on this list, I would like to call it the big areas, right? Or if you want to use a business notion, big departments, or something that works well for you. Let's call it the big areas. Okay, but now, so this is a list. Okay, so this is basically you're trying to capture your thoughts around different chunks, different sections, different segments, different areas of your life. Okay, now within a list, you can have a card. So if you want to add a card, we will call it relationship with Allah. Okay, I'll come to it. Then we'll add another card, and it will be relationship with, you can have a spouse, or parents, or even children, or you can have separate cards for each, right? Depending on what's going on in your own life. Okay, then it will be, let's say, health and fitness. Okay, and then I'm going to call it emotional mastery. All right, so you have these basically 4 areas that we have captured so far. Again, you can have more. Okay, now what we would like to do is, if you click on this button, which is like added symbol right here, and we want to create a label, and I'll explain why, right? So for example, I'm going to select the green one, and I'm going to call it relationship. Okay, then that's it. So each card can have multiple labels, right? And this will come handy if, when we are trying to organize things, when we're trying to search things by label. So this is now going to be labeled like that. Okay, now, so once you have labeled it like that, I would like you to put here in description why, right? So why is this thing important to you? Why is it important for you to focus on your relationship with Allah? And the reason being that it's important for you to write down the why is because, as the day is going by, you would be pulled by different people. You'd be getting different messages, different emails, and how you focus about growing this area of your life is very important. And you need to have that emotional fuel, the reason that how would your life be if you were to improve in this area of your life. Okay, and the reason and motivation and inspiration would be different for different people. Sometime you might be listening to a podcast and you might come up with an idea, an observation, a thought, an ayah, a hadith, or a quote, and then what you can do is you can put that in as a comment, right? You can put that in as an attachment, right? So you can attach from your computer an image and what have you, right? So make it something that would help you, give you that emotional boost, the emotional fuel. Okay, so you can probably put, the hadith of Wali, right? So if you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up, right? The hadith about whoever makes akhirah is concerned, right? That then your knowledge about the love of Allah, what does it mean? The purest form of love, right? And realizing that every other form of relationship and love is not infinite, right? And that is something that would end within this world, and your relationship with Allah will facilitate and put the blessings in all the other areas of your life. So if you want to, for example, refer to the podcast, which we called, I believe, episode 4, around, it's about who you know, right? And we discussed some interesting ideas there. So some of that can go in that here. in this description to see that, hey, why is this thing important to me? Why is it working on relationship with Allah is important to me? Okay. Now, likewise, you can go here, you can change the label. So I'm going to, for example, let's say use yellow for family, right? So you edited that label and then you will apply that label. So you click on here and now this thing becomes a yellow label. So every card can have multiple labels as well. That's a feature too if you wanted to use that. But for now, let's just keep it simple. One card, one label. Okay. So now you're seeing that every card is a label. Okay. Likewise, why is health and fitness important to you? Right? Then you're probably going to talk about the level of energy you will get, the amount of productive time you can have because you're not sick, you're not tired, you have higher energy levels, you feel good about yourself, you're active, different things like that, right? So you would put that in. So right now we're just talking about few big areas of your life and why they're important to you. So if I want to use, for example, this label for this, and I will apply that. Okay, now here, why is this important to you, right? So you might want to say, okay, I want to feel confident, I want to be assertive, I want to be happy, I want to be thankful to Allah, I want to be grateful to things that I have in my life, I want to manage my anger, and I want to, manage my calmness, right? So you might want to put on all those things, that why is this important to you, right? And then you will put a label for this. And you can edit that so that the label is not only just a color, but it also has text to it. Okay, great. So basically you have 4 areas in your life, right, that you want to focus on, and then you have added a color, a label to it, and you've also added the why. Why are those things important for you, right? So right now we just have those areas. What is success in those areas is something that we have not discussed yet. Okay, for this video, I'd just like you to take the time, find out the big areas in your life and write down why they're important for you, and then, create a board that looks like this, and we'll continue in the next episode. Assalamu alaikum.